back to Groomsmen. I'll be your host, Jonathan. Today I'm using the new shave cream by Ariana and Evans. This one is Silven Fog. The name is actually misspelled on there. It's missing the L. I think they kind of missed that when they're doing their quality control checks. He knows about it now, and I guess he's going to send out labels to correct it. Doesn't really bother me. I thought it was kind of funny. But this is their new cream. So they took the Pedro Fiasco base, which is a more affordable kind of bargain soap, and they morphed it into a cream, and that's what they're going with now. And it's pretty soft. I got a little scoop out of the corner here. It looks just like a normal pour, but it's very, very soft. Like, I'll stick my finger in there. Like, it's very soft. Very much like Tobs. Not completely as far as like consistency goes. Tobs can be, it's got a pretty big, I've had some Tobs that were like pretty hard, almost like a soap, and some that were very, very liquidy, and it would just like pour out of the tub. There was no like real standard on that, at least in my experience with Tobs. But yeah, this is pretty soft so far. I know it's like it settles a little bit in shipping, so don't be freaked out if it's like against one side. If you like bang it against the heel of your hand, you'll see it start to shift over. So it's pretty soft. But I use it just like a cream. It lathered really nice. Got it all lathered up here with my vintage Everready with a new badger knot here. That cream looks pretty nice to me. I think I was pretty happy with the lathering process. There wasn't anything special to it as far as like getting it to lather. It lathered easy. It took a good amount of water, just like normal. The scent is really nice. I've tried several scents that were based around like the kind of petrichor, like wet, rainy, rocky kind of scents, and most of them I didn't really care for. Like, I like the idea, I like it on paper, but execution I didn't really care for. That being said, this one I really like, actually. I was a little bit surprised by how much I like it. It's got some nice woody notes, but that petrichor, that kind of like rainy, wet rock, kind of wet tree smell is very much the top note. But it's got some nice wood notes in there as well. I really like it. I think it smells, he did a really good job with that scent, I think. Better than the other ones from other companies that I've tried. They didn't quite nail it. But I got it all, like I said, lathered up here with this brush. I got some pre-shave on already, some Badger brand pre-shave. As you can see, I haven't shaved in quite some time here. Keep me in a shave. I've been on an early shift and it's been hard. I made some time this morning. Next week I go to a later shift for a couple weeks. I'll be able to get more videos in. I know it's been a while since I've done a recording, or anyone in the group, and I apologize for that. But as you know, life gets in the way. Don't always get a chance to shave every day. When I get home, I thought about trying to do like an evening shave, but when I get home it's chaos. And I walk in the door and all my kids scream out "Daddy," which is great. But it's a lot. When I get home, I get kind of blitzed. I'm getting home late in the afternoon usually. You know, get some groceries. I stop on the way home to getting stuff ready for supper. Usually, we usually split the who does the cooking, me and my wife, but like half the time I'm getting stuff ready to start dinner. While my kids are trying to show me, you know, their artwork and whatever else, and Dad can help me play this video game because I'm stuck, or whatever the case may be. My brush keeps sliding into my bowl. Kind of a pet peeve of mine, but ain't nothing I can do about it at the moment. It's this new bowl I'm trying, but that's the only negative. If I had a bigger brush, it'd be fine. Not, I give up. Okay. So for the razor, I forgot to talk about that. I'm using the name just skipped out of my head. Give me a second. Bulgus is the company. The Asylum is their kind of home brand. This is the Asylum Evolution. This was modeled after the Darwin razor made in the UK. This is the brass. I have a stainless steel one too. I meant to bring it out just to show it off, but I think I left it in my little show area. But it's modeled after the Darwin. This is the brass version, like I said. The stainless steel one had a shorter handle, kind of like the original Darwin, so it's about here. They made this longer handle one and the brass version as well. I think it was originally a brushed brass, but then I got this like third or fourth hand. I got Scott, the founder of the Groomsmen, got this in like a batch of stuff that he bought, and he wasn't particularly interested. He sent it out to me to try, and I was like, heck yeah, I'll buy it from you. But it looked like it had been polished up at some point. I've just been letting it go and getting a patina on there It's not quite where I want yet, but it's getting there. It looks okay. But yeah, this handle screws into that top cap. You can see it kind of sticking out there. So it's kind of a cool design, just like the original Darwin. It wasn't meant to be, from my understanding, all the reading material, because this came out a while ago. They don't make this anymore. It wasn't meant to be like an improvement on the Darwin. It was meant to be like a copy, a 1-for-1. So it's got its flaws, and one of them is you got to use the blade tabs to kind of adjust the blade a little bit to make sure so you got some even exposure. And I had it all even, but then I unloosened everything to kind of show it off to you guys. You got to do just a little wiggle. That's the only bad thing about it, and it's kind of, you know, representative if you're going after vintage razors and stuff. They weren't made with the kind of tolerances of most modern razors, and even though this is a modern razor, it was just meant to be a replica. So it's got that kind of slop, I'd say. You can wiggle the blade a little bit until you tighten it down. Doesn't take too much. A couple extra seconds just to make sure that you're getting even blade alignment all the way across and that you're getting the same exposure on both sides. But it comes out pretty well. There were 2 base plates. There's the original, which was very smooth, a little mild, not quite as efficient as I would like. I really liked it when I was first learning DE razors though. I actually found that one on Facebook. Anyways, and then they came out with the Model T version, I believe, which is a slightly more aggressive version. I think that's what this one is. Normally they have a T on the base plate or something to annotate that but this one didn't have any markings. Neither of mine have any markings. But using it, it felt more blade forward and aggressive than the stainless steel variant I have. So I think maybe they just didn't mark the original ones. I got a first use modern Schick blade in here. Did a pretty good job. Definitely some blade feel. Definitely different from the stainless steel one I have. But that's the blade I got in there. It's got a wide range of use. Like you could kind of run like right at the cap versus right at the bar. Pretty wide range of usable angles there. I think riding the bar is a little bit more efficient, but you get a little more blade feel that way. Very comfortable. So far I'm liking the cream. I didn't, have any real doubts about it. I like A&E's products. But you never know. I've noticed that A&E, he's been changing his labels up a little bit, which is fine. And at first I didn't like it. He's kind of going away from like the very original, individualized, soap labels and splash labels and stuff to a more kind of company specific label. It was like a smaller graphic area for the individual soap part of it. And at first I didn't like that, because I like the intricate soap labels and stuff. It's cool. But then I started thinking about it, and I get where he's going. He hasn't said anything, but I get where he's going. I think, if I'm right, I think he's trying to make it more commercial, if that makes sense. I think he's trying, I know he's doing that, the glass jars and stuff, the Barbary Familia, the vegan brand, and that is going to be sold a lot over in Europe. And I think he's kind of going for a label and a brand identifier that would be more appropriate to see in stores on a shelf kind of a thing. That's what I get when I see like where he's doing these top label things where they're all the same on all of them across the board with this new cream. It's kind of a standard label now. And I think that's what he's going for. And we get going for like kind of a commercial thing where like the brand is very clearly visible. That's a good pass. It's a little more bladeful than I normally like. It's like right on the edge there. I almost did the Ellsworth today, but decided to go with something I hadn't used in a long time. I don't know why Bold Goose stopped making this razor. I think they made it in like 2017 or something, or maybe a little earlier than that. I said the original one was like a brushed stainless steel, and then they came out with the longer handle brass one. I don't think the brass had a shorter handle option. Maybe they did. It's been a long time since they were out, but then they stopped making them. It would have been cool. I would have liked to see, or would still like to see, them make like a Darwin type razor model, but improve it. You know, like modern tolerances and everything. I can appreciate the 1-for-1 remake, because I'll probably never buy Darwin because those things are ridiculously expensive. If you've never looked at them, they're very cool. They're made out of like cobalt steel, which is different from stainless steel. I guess the process of making cobalt steel is super toxic, which is why it's not made a whole lot. And it looks neat. It's got kind of a rainbowy metal look to it. And they weren't, you know, they weren't as highly made, or there weren't as many made of them. So they end up going for well over $1,000 each, usually, unless you happen upon one in an antique store, which I've never seen. All the ones I've seen go on like buy-sell trade pages and stuff have all been over $1,000. So this is kind of cool to have, you know, to get to experience that without all the expenditure. I think they went for like 180-ish, somewhere in there originally. It is a lot smoother on this pass, and obviously there's less hair. I think it doesn't really have like a blade gap. It kind of rests on the corner bars there, and you just have those channels underneath, which is kind of neat. It's kind of an interesting design. I didn't have any issues with clogging or anything like that. I felt the blade the whole time. But yeah, I think didn't do is what's the right word? It wasn't able to handle the heavy growth as well as some of my other razors. It did, you know, okay, but it wasn't the most comfortable first pass I've ever had. This is definitely a much smoother pass. I might have to revisit the stainless steel one now just to remind myself how that one goes too. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was more mild than this one. Felt nice to shave with, but was a little inefficient at the end of the shave. Didn't quite get the level of like, you know, smoothness I wanted when I used it. That's how my memory of it is anyways. Good stuff. I'm liking that cream. It's very slick. I still got plenty of lather left here in the bowl. I just did like a little scoop. I use the same scoop I use for soaps too. It's like maybe like a cream cheese knife that I stole out of my kitchen a long time ago. And I just do a little scoop. Same size of scoop I would do for any other cream, tubs or I don't know, artist shaving or whatever, you know, tub full of cream you're using. There's a lot of brands that do that. So it didn't take like a lot, just a normal amount of cream to make a really nice lather. It's not breaking down. Dig it. I really like the smell too. It's really growing on me. That Patrick, he did such a good job with it. I tried at least 4 different soaps, which is not a lot. But that featured that kind of petrichor scent to it, and I didn't care for any of them. Like I really wanted to. Remember, there was like a Declaration grooming one that I was kind of excited about, Bangerang maybe. It didn't just sit with me that well, you know. It wasn't quite there. Wanted to like it, you know. The description read exactly what I wanted out of this kind of scent, but it didn't quite deliver for me. Oh, I forgot which way I'm going. I think it might be a little smoother if you ride the bar. It's been so long I forgot. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But the other one said he kind of wanted to replicate that, you know, walking down a path through the woods right after it rained, everything's wet, like a stone path. He did a really good job. Just a little green, a little woody, but everything's very like that kind of wet stone, wet wood smell. Not musty or anything like that. Very fresh. Not bad for against the grain. It's on the high side of blade feel for me. Probably, I don't like blade feel, so probably medium for everybody else as far as blade feel goes. I think that's why I don't reach for it too often. It's got just a touch more blade feel I normally like. And I think I don't reach for the stainless steel one as much because it was like just a touch too mild for me. Like the face feel and everything was fine. It was just the end result. I wasn't quite getting like the PPS I wanted. But I'll try it again. Maybe I'll try it with a sharper blade. I don't know if I ever used a feather with it. Maybe I'll try a feather or a Nasset or something. Perma Sharp. Or one of my vintage blades. The vintage Schick blades are pretty sharp. That was a good shave. Yeah. I might do a little touch up right here, but that's pretty good. Didn't, you know, manage to not cut myself. Cool looking razor in any case, though. It was fun to pull out and use it for a while. Probably, you know, I don't use it that often, admittedly. I thought about selling it at one point, but they don't make them anymore, and it's cool to have on the shelf. So for right now, I'm keeping it, but we'll see what it goes in the long run. And do a little touch up on my neck. I did get one little weeper right there in the corner of my mustache. Anyways, we'll do a quick touch-up pass. I'll be right back after my cold water splash, my cold water rinse to do the splash. Alright, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. Nice cold water splash. This water's still pretty cold up here in North Dakota. It's starting to get a little warmer, getting a little green on the grass out there. Although I think it's supposed to, I heard a rumor that it's supposed to get cold again at the end of the week and might get a little bit more snow, but other than that, spring's here, you can tell. We got the matching splash, the Silven Fog. I don't know if there's a difference in the A&E or in the Pedro Fiasco slash, because he doesn't call it the Pedro Fiasco anymore. This the cream, the splash, if it's the same as K2E. I have to look at the ingredients. It does seem a little less ingredients, but still a lot. Like, you know, alcohol, aloe, glycerin, rose water, calendula extract, red clover, chamomile, a lot of the same stuff. Plantain leaves, aloe, white willow bark, fragrance, vitamin E, triglycerides. Seems pretty similar. Oh, it smells so good. That first sniff of the splash kind of reminded me of L'Orange Vert. Had kind of a citrusy punch for a second there. But that kind of goes away really quickly. I don't think there's any citrus notes in it. I think it was just an interesting combination. But it's gone now. Mostly it's just the woody notes are a little bit more open and upfront in the splash and in the soap. And then that, so it's a little more woody, and then the petrichor scent is a little bit underneath the wood. I do think I like the splash a little bit better than the soap, but they're both really good. This would make a really good EDP. I don't know if he's gonna make any for this. He hasn't yet, but this is a good scent. I wouldn't mind wearing this all day. Splash is great though. My skin feels good. Had a little weaver right there. It kind of closed up already though, but it's a pretty good shave. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a cool looking razor. I said the stainless steel one's a little bit shorter, and then kind of a brushed, or at least it comes in a brushed finish. And that's it. That's what I got for the day. I know it's been a while. Hopefully I'll get a little better about making some regular content on here. Like I said, I switched shifts. My last week on the early shift for a little bit. So I'll be on the later shift next couple weeks, and I'll be able to, I have a little bit more time to make some videos in the morning. So I'll see you guys then. Let me know if you want to see any reviews. I do have another cream I'll probably use in my next video from A&E. I bought two Soir Noir. It's a dupe of Dracar Noir. So I got that one sitting back there. I think I might have another soap. Oh, he sent me a soap for free. It just came in the box. I didn't order it. Manila in K2E base. So I gotta try that at some point too. I had not tried that scent before, and it was just in the box. Thanks, Peter, if you end up watching this video. And you guys over there at the Shaving Shop Club, I appreciate it. It was just a bonus soap in there, which is super cool. And I think that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, especially if you stuck out this long. And I will see you here next time.